What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of the Rich and Turbo Heavy Half Hour. I'm Rich. You can find me on X at FuzzDoomRip, on all the other socials, rich.piva, and doing reviews from Wikipedia of Metal, as well as Doom Charts contributor. Sup, Turbo?
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing extra great because we got to talk to Bryce and Erin from Hexecutioner for this episode, and we got to talk about their record Tornit, and we got to talk a lot about Bigfoots and Sasquatches. So we're very excited to have you guys hear the episode with the Seattle, Washington duo who put out that killer record that landed number 8 on Doom Charts for May. Talk a little bit about that and a whole bunch of other stuff with them. Super cool people. Audio was a little shaky, but we'll give it a go, and it's definitely worth your time checking it out. Before that, Turbo, what do we have for our album of the episode? New record that came out recently.
Z28, AM Gold, band out of Massachusetts.
Love the cover, by the way, for that. It's
kind of torn about the cover.
If I had the vinyl, I would hold it up, but it doesn't exist yet. But go check out their Bandcamp page because it's you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. Most of you will hate it, but it's wonderful in my opinion. Why did you pick this one?
I mean, I guess it's what they've already used a Camaro on their first 2 or 3 albums, so why not have an awkward picture that makes no sense?
What kind of car is that, by the way? That's in that. It's not a Camaro. I can guarantee it's not a Camaro.
It's not a Camaro, and I don't know. I didn't really pay attention. I was blinded by the man on the bike.
By the mustache. I understand.
Oh man, I don't know. This is a great album. It's of course it's one of the reasons it gets picked is because it's heavy in organ.
Lots of organ. Yes, very happy with the organ on this record.
Would say it's another album that's kind of split in two, where the first half the songs are shorter and more rock oriented, where the second half songs are longer and maybe a little bit more psych.
Even a little proggy, maybe a little deep purpley proggy too. Yeah, a little bit of that. Yeah, I would agree. It's funny. I don't know if I generally go to the shorter or longer songs, but I feel like if I had to pick a side here, I think I'd pick the longer proggy side.
I would say so. I do. I think. I don't know. Nostalgia kind of gets me with the AM Gold. I've been going through a nostalgia kick here lately, watching a bunch of stuff from the 70s and early 80s, and it's kind of reminded me of that from the past, you know. Most of our listeners are probably old enough to remember when AM radio was a big thing. And it was cool to hear Casey Kasem's voice.
Yeah.
It was always a big, every Sunday to hear him.
I wonder if the Casey Kasem Empire heard that, they would demand some cash from the Z28 fellas. Hopefully not.
I don't know. I mean, don't you have to... Imagine if they get over 5,000 listeners or whatnot.
Maybe they'd be happy to. Or maybe the statute of limitations is up too, because it's been probably 50 years or so, probably since that clip.
I don't know. I wouldn't take a guess on that. Set the Controls for the Heart of No One is my favorite song.
It's a great song. I was trying to decide what my favorite one was, and I'm like, Fool Me Twice, the organ's killer in that. And then Walking Your Last Mile, I'm like, the organ's killer in that too. So I kind of went back and forth with those two, and you'll get that with all of the tracks. But I think if I had to pick one, I'd probably go Fool Me Twice right now.
Yeah,
but
lyrics in it are pretty cool.
Yeah, end to end, really good record. I don't know anything really about these guys. I'm trying to see if we can get them on get them on the show. I'll send them a note. But they're a little mysterious to me. Sometimes they just randomly throw some stuff out there, and next thing you know, there's a new Z28 record.
Yeah, kind of popped up with no
No fanfare at all.
no
Yeah.
fanfare, nothing. Just hey, here's an album.
Yeah,
You are lucky enough to be following them on Bandcamp. You knew.
absolutely. Everyone go check out the new Z28 called AM Gold. Give us your feedback on what you think of the cover, like or don't like. Despise or think is the best cover of the year. One of those two things. Check it out. It's the record's great, regardless. So, and tell us what kind of car that is too, because I have no idea.
I just worry about the trend of taking just. I'm guessing that's just an old photograph, and it probably has a cool story behind it.
Yeah, maybe it's somebody's dad or something. But I hope the shorts never come back. It's just not a thing that I really need to experience ever again. All right, so moving on, we were talking about the classic record, and you asked me if I was a fan of this band, and I said no, but maybe you can teach me. I think my experience with this band, maybe it's just the wrong songs and the wrong albums. But what are we talking about for a classic record of the episode this time?
Headhunter by Crocus, the Swiss rock band, heavy metal band. This is from 1983. It's probably is one of those albums, one of those bands that everybody says they kind of sound like AC/DC. And I would say if AC/DC was a little bit more metal, maybe, you know. This was produced by Tom Allom. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, Allom. Tom was a sound engineer on the first couple of Black Sabbath albums. He was also on almost all the Judas Priest albums up to through the 80s, I think. So if you dig that sound, you know, this one's got a killer sound. Probably, for me, it's the best album that they put out. They got a lot of cool stuff on their other albums, and then, of course, the one that comes after this, Midnight Maniac, which has their biggest hit with Ballroom Blitz.
I think that's what got me with Crocus. I don't like that. And I also remember as a kid watching Headbangers Ball and being like, that dude's got an afro. He doesn't have long hair. What's going on here? What's happening here? And it freaked me out a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. That is the wrong reason to not like Crocus. But
I thought it might be because they covered BTO.
I mean, that doesn't help either. But I think nothing ever really connected with me. And there's also a ballad that I don't like from them. I don't think Ballroom Blitz needs to be covered ever again, or ever should have been. But what are the songs that I should be checking out on the record that we're talking about? Yeah, Headhunter, yeah.
Rob Halford sings backup on Ready to Burn.
I mean, that's enough for me to check it out right now.
There you go. You know, I guess Screaming in the Night might be the ballad that you hate.
Yeah, it is. It is. That is the ballad that I hate.
I got in trouble. Here's a high school story for you. I'm going. This is, of course, one of the other albums I listened to in high school a lot. So I'm cruising to school, going down the road, and all of a sudden I'm just jamming out to this, and it's the second song, "Eat the Rich," and I'm singing, and it's "Eat the Rich, Bitch," and I'm behind this one car, and I'm just got it jammed, cranked all the way up, and I'm singing, and then we take off, and the car in front of me starts slowing down, and they start pissing me off, and so I go to pass them, and I look over, and this woman is like, "That's not very nice." She's pointing her finger at it, and then she follows me all the way to school, and when I park, she pulls up behind me and park. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? Come to find out, it was a teacher from her school. I wasn't a teacher that I ever had.
Whoops.
So she's asking people. I come to find out later, people are coming up to me and say, so-and-so teacher's asking about you. She's asking about who drives this truck and this license plate. And so it goes around school, it's talking about how I was a rude, crude You know, it just added more to my reputation.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say then you dated her for 6 months, but I guess that's not how the story ended.
No, no.
All right, I will give this record another. I will give this record a shot. I probably have not listened to this whole record. We also had a conversation about Accept, which is another band that I struggle with, and that we'll have to talk about another time. But Crocus, Headhunter, right? That's the one. This is the one that. All right, we'll check it out. I will check it out again. I will report back.
Skull and crossbones on the cover, man. You gotta.
Yeah, I'm sure this is my problem and not anybody else's problem. But I will report back.
If anybody knows, the song Night Wolf was supposed to be written for an animated movie called Metal Hollywood or Hollywood Metal, and I don't know if they got this mixed up with heavy metal, and this song was supposed to be on the heavy metal soundtrack, or if there was another animated movie that was in the works called Metal Hollywood or something, which would have been really cool because I would have liked to have seen that.
Maybe we can make the movie Metal Hollywood if there wasn't one. Maybe we'll get on that. But yes, if anybody knows that, please let us know.
And now with AI and everything.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have to have any talent to do anything at this point.
By the way, I'm real. I am not one of the AI Bigfoots. Just let you know.
Are we doing a future classic song this time too, Turbo?
Yep.
What are we doing? What do we got?
A band that I'm not sure how to pronounce. Fuzz Cult.
You love to do the bands that you don't know how to pronounce.
Fuzzkalt. I'm assuming since they're from Denmark that it's Fuzz Cult, and that's just how they spell cult. The song is River of Gold. The album is Faceless Man. It's like I said, they're from Denmark. It's a groovy, dirty stoner rock. They came out Friday too, as well, or whatever. And I don't think, have you listened to it?
I have, and not only have I, but Janice from Fuzz Cult actually messaged me and was saying, "Hey, I've seen some of your reviews and stuff. Would you be interested in reviewing the record?" And I said, "Or can I send you a code for it?" I said, "I already have it. I already bought it. We're all good. And please talk to the guys to come on the show." So this might be a thing that we have. So very, very happy with that. But why did you pick that particular song? I love the whole EP. It's an EP. I would call it an EP, right?
Is it an EP? Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, it's 14, 9, 20. Yeah, I guess so. It's right around 30 minutes, isn't it?
It's a close one. We'll report back on if we decide it's an EP or an album. But why did you pick this particular track?
I don't know. I like it. and I think everybody else should listen to it.
Yeah.
River, I was having a hard time. I thought about picking Sirens. I thought about picking bass. I thought about picking almost all of them. But I don't know. This one spoke more to me. It felt... It's not as high beat. Yeah. It's not as, it's more laid back, I think, but not too laid back.
Yeah.
But then it's got some lyrics where it's, kind of got a lot of anger going on. I'm fucked up, I'm terrified. Something, I don't remember. Down in a hole, losing all control, I'll give you the river of gold, but you choose to piss all over my soul. So,
Yeah.
It's like
right up your alley.
Talking about me.
Yeah, right up your alley. Yeah, no, I really, really enjoyed this album. I don't know why I've been thinking it's an EP. I must have just said 5 songs, so it's right on the border, I think. We will make a determination and we will report back. But yeah, I love this. I love this EP. Great choice of song. I maybe would have gone with Faceless Man, but I think every song of the 5 are really good and worth your time. And hopefully we can get Fuzz Cult on the show now that we've opened up that door and the guys are potentially interested. If we can make the time zones work, we will do it. So Turbo will put this out there and exit out or whatever we do. But
Culling favors from Rich, trying to get more interested in him into the band will not help me pick your song.
and mostly because I have no idea what Turbo's going to pick. We do not. This is something we do not discuss ahead of time. We do chat a little bit about the future, the classic record and the album of the episode, but no, I always like to be surprised what Turbo picks for the future classic song. Speaking of surprised, as we transition into the interview that we did with Bryce and Erin from Hexecutioner, I think those guys were very surprised that they landed at number 8 on the Doom charts this month of May. I don't think you and I are all that surprised with how killer the record is. And great people, super fun discussion. Also, for those of you who are of the vinyl persuasion, they just dropped the pre-order for the record, so go pick it up, and it's orange, which makes it even cooler. But let's go to our interview with Bryce and Erin from Hexecutioner right now.
Okay, cool.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rich and Turbo Heavy Half Hour. We're very excited to have Hexecutioner with us. We have Bryce and we have Erin with us.
Hey, how you doing?
How you guys doing?
We're stoked
Nice to
to
meet
be
you guys.
here.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
we're
coming
stoked.
on. Excellent. First off, congratulations on the new record. The record is called Tornit, am I pronouncing it correctly? Tornit?
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you. Yeah.
We love it, and obviously the Doom charts loved it too, given it was number 8 on Doom charts, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, we're pinching
Kind of blown
ourselves.
away,
I know.
Yeah.
Like what? We were not expecting that whatsoever.
No.
I mean, just to be considered was pretty cool, and then to be in the top 40 and then to be in the top 10 is just like, it's unreal.
Yeah.
It's pretty much unreal.
Yeah.
Magic is in the air.
And it was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And it's
And it was a crazy month too, like a really good, like heavy on the really good records month too, which is even more impressive and
Hell
even
yeah.
more shows even more how awesome the record is. So
That's great to hear. And there was I think 246 bands that submitted this month or last month, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I have lots of questions about the record, and I guess first off, what I would ask you guys is, so it's you two who play all of the instruments on the record. Erin, you take over the bass duties as well on this one. Besides you controlling all the strings there, what would you say is the most different compared to the last record, in your opinion?
I mean, we wanted to sound better as far as sound quality, and we wanted it to sound cleaner yet stay heavy
and still be dirty.
Yeah, and we got Dylan Wall was really good. He was excellent, and I had a lot of the vision, but he would rein us in sometimes too, because I want to go as heavy as possible, but then without it sounding like a total mud fest, not knowing what's you can't hear what's happening kind of thing. So,
I would say, as far as differences go, like, this one seemed to be more jammy and riff-oriented, other than, I don't know, like solos and stuff, like, this is more groove and jam-oriented, so. And
the last album, like, there was 8 songs on there, and the first 4 were more recent, but the last 4 were much older, and, like, I don't know. I guess we should have done like 2 records, but we just put it all in one, and because it wasn't quite long enough. And but I don't really want to play a lot of those older songs because that's not really where we're going anymore. And just more jammy, more groove oriented, and more riff oriented, and less technical, showy, offy. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
something
that
like
pretty
that.
much sums it
Yeah.
up, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely more jammy with the long songs. Definitely not morphing into a Dead cover band or anything like that. For sure.
Yeah.
Too many,
Yeah,
too many
yeah,
riffs,
that's
and too much heavy.
yeah. Maybe not the right word, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love it. No, I totally get it because you listen to a song like "Bind My Foe," for example, and you guys go off, but it's not like you're improvising or doing anything crazy like that. But the riffs are there, and it just kind of, to me, it's almost hypnotic in fashion, which is where a band like I think Ufam comes into.
Yeah, that's where we're trying to go,
Yeah.
and we're big Alt fans and Steve fans and Alice Cisneros fans and Matt Pike fans, and just trying to see where the riff wants to take you. I don't know, kind of morph into something else, but not feel like it's changing too much. I don't know. That makes any sense.
Turbo, I know you really dug the record too. I know you've got some questions for them.
Yeah, it's. I love the new sound. I love the heavy. It's got a killer groove, especially on the first song, Skokum, or is it Skookum?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
That's become one of my favorite songs of the year because that groove is just so freaking killer.
Oh, dude,
and this song is about. You're welcome. This song's about Bigfoot, right?
Yeah.
Or something in that. That would be also why I would like it.
Yeah. Pretty much Bigfoot.
Yeah. Definitely. Wanted to go into behavior.
But that's more.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But it was but it's based on some sort of like Native American mythology, right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Skookum was one of the words they had, or names they had for Bigfoot.
They had a lot of different names and all over the parts of the country and all parts of the world, and just some pretty crazy similarities. And just kind of trying to hone in on the behaviors. I know people have done a lot of Sasquatch songs before. We're definitely not the first, so I kind of wanted to take it to another level where you kind of go into their behaviors, because we watch shows like weird ass shows like Ancient Aliens and like some weird Sasquatch
We're into the
shit.
cryptid stuff.
And so just getting real, just getting into their behaviors and stuff, and trying to hone in on more of that for that song.
Cool. That's
Turbo,
really
I gotta check. Turbo got me a calendar for Christmas of all like Bigfoot type creatures in different national parks and different areas. So we have to check it.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
all the cryptids.
The Skookum is on there. So,
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
That's a Northwest name for them.
this month.
I did my research. I was trying to make sure I got everybody on there. Yeah. Well, we want to make a video for this one,
Research is
so hopefully we can make a video and not have it be super cheeseball with, the limited budget that we probably have.
Yeah.
So, but we'll figure something out. So that'll be something to.
Have you seen those AI things on Instagram with the Bigfoot things? There's a ton of them now. They're all over.
Oh, really? No.
Where they show somebody it's all AI and it's like it looks more like a gorilla, but he's saying he's Bigfoot and he's out hanging out in the forest, and a lot of it's pretty funny. Some of it's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
It's still worth checking out.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing what kind of stock videos they have that. I don't know. I mean, it'd be cooler to have this guy dress up. I don't know. Who knows?
I would love to dress up in the Sasquatch. I'd be like,
Those suits are expensive,
They
dude.
are.
Otherwise, they're just anyways.
I wouldn't want to do it
cheesy.
during the summer.
Right?
I love the idea of Bryce being Bigfoot in the video. That would be amazing.
Oh, and you can play the drums too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like walk around
Yeah.
and then just
Do you
sit
love
on
around
the
the drums?
set and like.
It is very caveman-y Bigfoot
Yeah.
type of beat. Yeah.
Just as if it's normal. Like you're playing your thing, Erin, and then Bryce is behind the kit in full Bigfoot regalia, just playing as if it's completely
Right?
normal
Yeah.
to
Right?
your
Totally.
everyday situation.
Yeah, he'll
That's a
just
great
die.
idea.
Yeah, he'll just die and pass out. I'll put a bunch of fans. We'll put a bunch of fans by him, so it'll be like
Fans in the suit.
yeah, but your hair is gonna be blowing in the wind now. So it'll be like an ode to the glam rock era.
With long Sasquatch hair.
Yeah, long Sasquatch hair.
Love it.
Put it in slow mo.
Yeah.
Yes, Bigfoot hair. Flowing Bigfoot hair.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
Back
to what you're asking.
Wonderful.
That's awesome.
We're on the same kind of boat here. I'm looking at the album cover. Is that the Skookum like in the sun or what? Tell me about that because I love the cover. It's so like mid 70s, like I could see it on the side of a van situation, which is wonderful.
Oh,
thank you.
What are
Yeah.
you going for with the album
love
cover?
vans.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the vibe. That was our friend Ferg who did the actual Sasquatch guy, and he was in a painting like with a forest and stuff, and he was more brown, and so I lightened him up, and he ended up kind of turning more orangey yellow, and I'm actually right now working on turning that whole cover into a vector file, and it's a big pain in my ass, by the way. So, but it'll look much better, than we're gonna make it look hopefully very similar, but you can blow it up to a record or a T-shirt, and it's not gonna look all shitty. So that's
we're getting pressed on vinyl.
Yeah, we're getting impressed on vinyl. So I that's the next project ASAP. Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys, as I know there's a CD, but as vinyl junkies that we are, we were hoping we were going to get some wax on this, and it sounded like that.
Yeah.
It's been ordered.
It's been ordered.
So now it's just the waiting game.
Yeah, so it's only supposed to be 4 months though, so it's like a company in Canada. It's like another band we liked used them, and it sounded pretty good. So we're going with them, and we picked like fluorescent transparent yellow with orange and white spreckles or something. Splatters.
Yeah.
Love it.
Trying to have it
perfect
match the album cover a little bit.
Yeah.
With the options that we had to choose from.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's why we were working
cool.
on it to be a vector file.
Yeah.
That's an excellent reason. We're excited. Is this like a completely like DIY kind of thing you guys are doing with the vinyl? Like you're putting it out there yourself? No label involved?
No, not currently. You just trying to figure out how to do this all, and I mean it's on the list to definitely reach out to some labels and figure out a distribution situation, or multiple situations would be cool. But I mean what else? I feel like what was the question? Like going off.
Something about labels. Like, we'd love the backing of a label.
Yeah, right now we're doing it all ourselves.
Right now it's all ourselves, though.
It's like, you can't expect the label to do it all, so you got to figure out how to do it and, figure out, okay, well, what can the label do that I can't do, I don't know. I'm still learning what to do, so that's...
And also want to show the labels that we are able to and willing to do the work, too, so... Yeah. I mean, we're still going to do it regardless of label or not. Sorry.
Some of the bands labels we talk to, that's what they want to see. They want to see that you're like legit. This isn't like a one-off or a two-off thing that you're kind of in for it. But I have a feeling you're going to have a lot of opportunity given, the success of this one and the feedback that you're getting on this record. I'm sure if that's what you want to do.
I mean, that's the hope. Yeah, that's definitely the hope. So we'll see, but we're going to keep on going regardless. So, I mean, we're going to start working on the next album here in the next month or two. And
got a lot of creative ideas. So, yeah.
Love it. How are you guys playing out? Do you bring a bassist or do you go just the duo on stage? And
I mean, we've been a two-piece. We've been a three-piece, and that's what we want to be, is a three-piece. Obviously, we sound way better with a bass player. And so we've been working with a guy for the last few months, and he knows all the songs, and so we're almost ready to start playing shows.
You've just been so focused on this album.
Yeah, and doing that, and yeah, just trying to figure out the record thing and the vector file, and then we want to start playing shows though, so that's a whole other thing. But
start playing.
But yeah, we prefer to be a 3-piece. We were a 2-piece for the album because we were in between bass players, and
we didn't want it to hold us back.
We didn't want it to hold us back, and we didn't want to just have somebody join and be like, oh yeah, and you're gonna help pay for this, like, and you're gonna jump on and do all this. It's just a little too much for somebody right away. So I was like, okay, well, I think it'll be just easier if I do the bass tracks, and then we can figure out after that and go from there.
And that way we're not all held up waiting for a bassist before we progress as a
and
band.
all that. Yeah.
And we think we found the right one, hopefully. So
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Erin, how was that? Are you a bass player by trade, or was this something that you just kind of had to figure out? I know guitarists usually can pick up a bass and do their thing, but how was it for you?
I mean, I think when I was a kid, I took some bass lessons for a few years or something, but that might have helped. But I mean, being a guitarist and writing the riffs, it's like, oh yeah, I mean, I can figure this out. So, you know, I'm not a bassist, but I think I can, you know, figure my way around it and, you know, make it sound decent. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, nobody's asking you to get up there and, you know, slap and, you know.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a rig where I got a bass right here and a guitar right here, and somehow I'm just going to strum all of it at the same time. No. Yeah, we're looking forward to playing with a bass player again. So, yeah.
Turbo, I interrupted you, as usual. What were you going to ask?
No, I don't remember. Mostly about touring and adding more members. I read something, and I don't know why the person brought it up, but they said that would be a good place for a keyboardist, and I can't figure out why they thought that you would need a keyboard player in your band. So,
well, we had organ, a little bit of organ in the first album, so that's probably where they got that. I mean, who knows where we're going to go with this band. I've always been a huge fan of organ. Like, I don't know, it's kind of a lot to, maybe it'll be a side project or something, but, you know, I don't know if we want a full-time keyboardist, but you never know. I don't know. Yeah. Organ sounds pretty cool, but yeah.
I am a sucker for all things organ. When you put organ in music, I'm down for it. The problem is, I would assume for touring bands, is carrying that thing around with you.
Oh, yeah.
That seems like a gigantic pain in the ass.
Yeah, they had those portable ones. What was the one I was looking at? You know what was
that thing called?
What's his face? Ray Manzarek from The Doors, what they toured with, and what was the other one? Egg. Egg is really
oh my god,
cool.
Egg is a cool band.
Have you guys heard of Egg? Check it out. Yeah. Of course you've heard of them. Anyways, but yeah, they're fucking
terrible specialist. Very cool. What is, and this might just me being ignorant, but tell me about the title of the album. Where did that come from, and what's the origin of that?
So Tornit.
It's another name for Bigfoot. Another Native American name for Bigfoot, or some like a shapeshifter, but most likely or most commonly referred to like a Sasquatch.
Yeah, just something that isn't completely known. Everybody knows Bigfoot, Sasquatch, you know, even Skookum. I feel like, at least in the Pacific Northwest, a lot of people know what Skookum is.
Yeah,
and so
Tornit's a less known.
Yeah, I just wanted something that was more abstract, and like people had to go look it up what that was.
I'm like a giant hairy humanoid creature. I know some of those.
Right.
Here in Florida, we have the skunk ape. I've
Yeah.
never seen
Yes.
said
Okay.
skunk ape.
Yeah.
But we do have the skunk ape down here, supposedly. It looks like the torrent, based on these pictures, looks a little more ape-like, almost like bigger than a Sasquatch. I need to do my research on all
Right?
these
I know we need to have a
variants
map of the
Bigfoot.
world Sasquatches, all the different
Right.
cultures, Sasquatch cultures.
Right.
Yes.
It's amazing.
I was hoping that this was a play on like Turn It Up, like turn it up,
Or or you tore it up, tore that shit up.
tore it up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
tore it up.
Skookum's tore it up, you know?
So I hear a lot of when I hear your band and what other band comes to mind, I mentioned Ufamamut, and I think Acid King. I think it's too easy to say Acid King, only because it has the female vocalist and it has. But I think you guys are just flat out heavier than that. But what other bands would you say are your probably most influential bands that are out there for you today?
I mean, Acid King is huge.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. When I heard her, it was like, what the fuck? It was kind of mind changing hearing her I don't know when I heard her, but it was a long time ago. And, I mean, as far as riffs go, probably not as much Acid King. I don't know. UFO Mammoth's pretty big, and I like Wofat a lot, and I mean,
Of course, like Sleep and Electric
Sleep,
Wizard.
but yeah, Conan, all sorts of shit all over the place. Other influences, yeah.
As far as drum influences go, Dale Crover's a huge one. Oh, what's that? What was that? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Split with Wofat because they do
that'd be
songs about
incredible.
chupacabras, so you could.
Wofat.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah,
That would be incredible.
I'll take it.
Light it up.
Go ahead and set it up.
Yeah.
You'll have
We'll make some
Get on the phone.
Yeah. Dale Crover. Interesting thing about Dale Crover is we're seeing him everywhere right now. Like we see him like just guesting on all of these different and not big records indie bands or kind of DIY bands, and he's just kind of putting himself and lending his craft to all of these bands, which is very, very cool. A buddy of mine saw the Melvins open with Napalm Death recently, and they still got it. Touring with them, but
they're doing the two drummer thing too right now with
Dale
Cody.
was playing with
Oh
them?
my god, dude! Like both those guys are huge. Influence. I've probably seen Melvin's like 20 times, dude. Like that's not exaggerate. That's not an exaggeration either. Like, I see them every. This house is full of Melvin's posters.
Yeah, he's got way too many Melvins posters. It's kind of ridiculous.
Well, you're in a good location for it in the Seattle area, right? So I'm sure that you get the ability to. Did you ever see King Buzzo just walking down the street? I'm sure you could see him coming with his hair.
Oh yeah, I ran into him. We got coffee the other day. Yeah, we're like this.
Well, they moved down in LA, I think, but I did run into him once before a Bellingham show, so that was cool, like years ago. So yeah.
And I've heard different things about interacting with him, but both good and bad. But we'll leave it there. Just know that Melvins are awesome. That's for damn sure.
Yes.
What's that? But Melvins are excellent. And if you ask them, tell them to come on the show. We'd love to have those guys on the show too.
If I ever got a chance to meet him, if I ever got a chance to meet him, I'd probably just be awkward and not know what to say.
Oh yeah, my experience in meeting the bands that I kind of idolized or grew up listening to, none of them went well. Especially the Paul Stanley situation, but I won't talk about that on this show. It's too embarrassing.
A handshake and a hug is good enough, I guess.
If they even want your hug,
yeah,
good enough. Yeah.
yeah. It was very awkward, and I actually had to spend money to meet Paul Stanley, and when I did. It just
Of course.
didn't go well. Excellent. So, what else let's say people haven't heard the record before, and you want to just give just a little bit of what you would say about the record and the band that you would explain it, like the little blurb that's in Doom charts, for example, but coming from the mouths of the people who make the music. What would you say about the band and the record?
Oh, man, that's a hard question,
dude.
man.
I should have sent it ahead of time. That's my bad.
They're long.
We have 4 songs.
This record is 4 songs. It's long. 36 minutes.
They are long.
I don't know.
They are long.
We're also big Belzebong fans. Like, I don't want to compare us to anyone, but like, I guess with the riffage upon riffage.
But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking. They asked us.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to answer. Like,
okay.
Explaining it to someone who's never heard it before, it's very riffy. Like, that's why I was bringing up, for example, a band like Belzebong or one of those bands where just let that, or Endless Boogie or something. Like, you just let that riff go, let that dog hunt.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really hard to put it into words, I guess. Never thought about it this way.
We like to make words.
And sounds.
We like to make words and sounds.
I hit things with sticks.
Deep. Very deep. I love it. Love it. Turbo, what else you got for Erin and Bryce?
Did y'all discuss working with Dylan Wall? I'm not really familiar with him. Is this the first time you've ever worked with him? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were working with Don Farewell, and it just wasn't going well at all. So
wasn't his normal genre. And then he referred us to Dylan.
And I knew about Dylan before because he's like
affiliated with the studio.
He's affiliated with Seven Hills Studios. He's always there and one of the main guys there. And so we were actually thinking about recording the last album with him, and we probably should have. But yeah, Dylan's great. So I'm stoked that hopefully we can just work with him on the next one again, and not have to deal with any more possibilities than there already are with trying to record an album.
I think he captured, in my opinion, like this sounds like what obviously I'm not in your heads, but like the record that it came out and the way that it sounds, it's excellent.
Right.
And to me, it sounds like what you guys
let the amps do the work.
We went through a lot of mixing. Like, I don't even know how many mixing, dude. Like, how many rounds? It was a lot. It was like, mix with this, do this again, and then like that was probably 20 times over at least.
Oh well.
No, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More at least 20 times.
Yeah, she's right.
Yeah, with the vocal, with everything.
With everything.
Vocals, with drums, with
the guitar layers. There's layers of guitars.
Well,
which is cool. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's why it sounds so big.
Right.
But yeah.
It sounds great, but it's an album for me that I can't get it loud enough.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like I've got it cranked all the way up. I want it to go.
Oh,
really?
Do you?
I guess if we get it remastered
sometime,
maybe
we can add some
crank that shit up in the mix.
Blow the speakers out. Blow your speakers out. Yeah. Beware. Come with a warning sign. Yeah. Watch out. The shit's heavy as fuck.
As very greedy fans, the thing I heard you say was that you're thinking even now about the next album, and the necklace songs that come out next. Are you looking at it in a very similar direction to these songs, or is there anything else that you're thinking about that you might incorporate into your sound? I don't think you need to change a thing, but I know a lot of you might have some other ideas or other things that might be on the top of your brain that you're going to bring into the next record.
Yeah, we
definitely keep it heavy. Don't worry about it. She will be heavy, and maybe a little more psychedelic though.
Yeah, I got
the
I got a couple new
aspect.
pedals, and I really like them. And
She's looking at them right now.
I'm not gonna say which ones they are though, because I'm not ready yet to
Go into all
discuss
that. Right.
Yes.
Still in R&D.
Yet.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be a lady skookum?
Mm.
Yeah. Skooket.
Yeah, the little pinto.
Skooketta?
Skooketta.
I feel like going a little more psych and a little fuzzier would be awesome for, I think, your sound. That would I was listening to a record today, and it wasn't your record. It was a record I was reviewing, a fuzzy band. They call themselves Fuzzy Stoner Doom, and it was good. And then when they kind of turned on the fuzz and the pedals, it was like next level. And I'm like, that sounds excellent. And I feel like you guys are heading a little bit in that direction when I listen to this record, and in how heavy end kind of, there are definitely elements of the psych side of it, at least that I'm
just more experimental, and take a little bit more time with these songs. We really didn't spend that much time. Well, yeah, really not that much, maybe.
As far as our standards.
Yeah, so I think we're going to give ourselves a little bit more time on each song. And that's all I got.
Yeah.
So.
We want to make sure it's good.
Yeah.
We want it to be heavy.
Yeah.
We want to
not necessarily wildly different, but
we want to make sure the riffs, but it's still riff worship.
Yes.
Hopefully, and hopefully it doesn't suck. And and
make sure we don't press the suck
but
button.
Yeah, we got a couple. I got a couple riffs though where I had to go through a band and be like, this riff has to be taken. This riff has to be taken. I went through all the songs and nope, it's not taken. So that's a good sign.
And if a riff becomes an earworm and gets stuck in our heads, that's always a good sign. Like if it's stuck in our heads after we've been jamming on it and you find yourself humming it, or you know what I mean, an earworm. You know, if it does that, then we can feel good about
it. I find it interesting that you said that it kind of takes you guys a long time to do stuff, because you not a lot of time between records. Is there just a lot of time in your days that you're just thinking about what you're creating, which kind of makes it feel like it takes a long time for you to do those records? Because 18 months right? It's 18 months between the two. Am I right there, or is it somewhere close? Or am I completely off date wise?
Like 10 months between. 10 months.
Yeah, we actually these came out pretty close to each other in that sense, but we didn't take our time. I don't know. We didn't feel like we necessarily took our time writing it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, cool, we got these songs. Oh, shit, we can record another album. Like, we were going to press the first one on vinyl, and with it being a double record, we were like, oh my God, we could just record another album instead of make 250 copies. Yeah. Which we still want to press it, by the way.
But it's more important for us to do another album than to press the records on the last album. So but we'll get to it.
So yeah, that's why we recorded this one instead of it's like we can record another album or we can press this current one. It's like, let's record another album and then figure out pressing. And then this one's a single, so we were able to afford to press it.
It'll be half
without the backing of the label. So yeah.
Sweet. Love it. I get that pre-order up. I'm ready.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, we can put that pre-order up.
I'm ready. We're ready to go. Excellent. So, what do we? So, on your Bandcamp page, I see that you have a show scheduled for August 30th. Are you targeting like fall to have some more shows, or is that kind of TBD?
It's to be determined. Yeah, like. We don't even know if we're going to play that one because we set it up without talking to our bass player because we forgot that, we've got 3 people in the band and we got to ask this other person. So he happened to be out of town. And so I still got to take that off the list. But yeah, and then we were going to play another show with the band and then we haven't heard anything. And I don't know. We definitely want to play a show, but it's not the highest priority. Like right now, the highest priority for I feel like is get the freaking vector files figured out
and get this album out to the world.
Yeah, and get the vinyls, and then start working on the next album, and then in with that, we'll try and play a show.
We want to play shows, but we found it's really easy to get caught up and playing locally so much that that's all you end up doing for a while. And it's like, oh, what about the other albums or playing outside of the area? You know what I mean? So you want to make albums, you want to get them to the world, and we also want to play shows.
Yeah, we love playing shows.
We do. We love it. But
we wasted probably a year and a half or 2 years. I wouldn't say wasted, but just only playing shows, and
it's like, what about recording?
Focusing on promoting the shows and getting people there, and it just like takes up all this energy, and there's only so much time in the day, and so you got to figure out, well, what are your first priorities as a band? And so it was kind of stupid that we were playing all these shows and we didn't even have like a real album, you know. And so it's like, okay, so we're kind of focused on trying to be like a real band more than 1 or 2 albums, and I will definitely play shows.
We're definitely going to be playing shows. People will probably have to come to Seattle, or it's for the people in Seattle, I guess.
Yeah, for the meantime, we'll get to Portland and out there. But
we'd also love to do like a small, like West Coast tour at some point.
Yeah.
Or hit up festivals, you know?
Yeah.
Festivals would be grad too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, one of the bands that we've had on the show who we're big fans of is a band called Kitsa, and they're doing a second record, and like the comment that the guitarist Chris made was that we have to like stop doing these shows because we have to focus on actually making our second record. We had so much momentum with the first record that like it's so distracting to do everything else except to go in the studio and kind of focus on those next songs.
Totally.
So definitely something that I've heard before. So, awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Want to just kind of let everybody know to go listen to Hexecutioner's record Tornit. It was number 8 on the friggin' Doom chart.
Yeah,
which is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
We're still absorbing that, really. Like, yeah, we weren't expecting that much.
Hopefully this isn't like the height of our career, you know? I know that it's really hard to do this again, so, you know.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think there's a lot of big things to come. I think your fan base is growing based on what we're seeing on the socials and the people that we interact with. And just congratulations on the record. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are excited that this is going to be pressed on vinyl. So the sooner you get that pre-order up, the sooner you'll see that actually in action. And just hope you guys will come back and talk to us when the next record is.
Absolutely.
Awesome, will do.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Erin.
Or whenever you get Bryce into a Sasquatch outfit.
Oh, yeah, we'll do an interview with that. That'd be hilarious. We'll just mumble roll.
Don't even tell us and come on. Yeah, don't tell us. Just come on with the outfit on. Start the interview that way, and just act as if.
Fuck yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
It's everyday part of life.
Yeah. Right on.
Just a normal Wednesday. Thanks,
right,
guys. Have a great day. Really appreciate it.
Bye.
I hope you guys dug that interview with Erin and Bryce from Hexecutioner. The more Sasquatch and Bigfoot talk, the better on this show and on every show. Go buy that record, whether you buy the CD or the vinyl or just download it. It's killer. The riffs are killer. It's so heavy, and you know those guys made a comment like they hope they didn't peak here, and they definitely didn't. This is just the beginning for what we're going to hear from Hexecutioner, and we're here for it, and we're really excited. So anyway, again, to do what YouTube people do, please like and subscribe and all that stuff if you want to hear more and if you like more. We have so many cool interviews coming up. But until then, my name's Rich on X at Fuzz Doom Rip, all the other socials, Meespedia of Metal, and as a Doom Charts contributor. And Turbo, say goodbye to everybody, please.
Thank you for listening. Keep it heavy and play it loud. Until next time.
See ya.